I know that one of the prime minister's goal was to have a constitutional, reform
republic.
Right, to reform the constitution into a republic. But, you know, given the governor general, his pay got increased. That was the only pay increase that I didn't agree with. Because if you're going to remove him, why you paying him then to remove him? Because you're still gonna have a head of state. Oh, so he would be the head of state.
Not
so
him, we don't know who.
Well, the president. So what would it be then? Can you kind of describe what the idea of this republic would be for us?
And how close we are to it.
I don't think a lot of people appreciate the role of the governor general in Jamaica.
No.
So there's a lot of things that the government general does that are important to maintain in Jamaica as a country. So there are some important appointments. For example, appointments to the judiciary, which is not political. The judges are supposed to be independent. So what you need in a society, you're going to have the JLP, you're going to have the PNP at war with one another every day. Compete for political power. You need somebody in the middle who can go and say, no. These things are not political. So the governor general is not a ceremonial position, you know. People say it's ceremonial, but it's not.
Okay.
The governor general exercises certain powers to keep the state stable. So when we reach republic, we're going to have a president.
So wouldn't the prime minister then, because many people are looking at United States. That's the idea.
No, because we're not a Republican country. We're a Westminster democracy.
Okay, so it would be like Trinidad.
So it would be similar to Trinidad.
Okay.
Where you have a president.
I think that has always been the idea.
Elected. What we are suggesting that the president must be elected by both houses of parliament, which means it's a consensus, right? And the president will function in particular roles. Certain appointments the president will make, officiate over certain national functions such as the opening of parliament, have certain like initiatives, you know, like the governor general have a whole heap of little thing where him do to motivate young people and to engage young people and to really whatever. And that's what we suggest. But what we really want to do is untangle ourselves from the monarchy. Like, I am a young person. I'm not going to tell me yet, but
young enough. He's a millennial.
I don't appreciate that 60 odd years after independence, we still have to, in a parliament, pledge allegiance to the king. You know, I don't appreciate that. And I believe, despite everything that is going on and the dispute between both political parties, we can at least agree that we must fully govern ourselves as an independent country, right? I mean, we can talk about CCJ and we can talk about all of that, but at least we can agree to be independent.
Has there been any pushback on that? But it seems like that's a consensus.
Yes, there has.
Really?
The opposition is saying that if them don't get the CCJ, them not support the republic, right? And in order for Jamaicans to vote for the republic, you need consensus.
What's the CCJ again?
Caribbean Court of Justice.
So why would they want? So what do they mean that if they don't get that?
Because they are saying that you cannot be a republic and still be appealing to the Privy Council.
Okay.
But Trinidad,
which is the Privy Council is in UK.
Yeah, but Trinidad still appeal to the Privy Council.
Okay.
But the point, my position as a member of government is that I don't believe you should tie the two things.
Okay.
Because one has to do with the dispensing of justice and one has to do with the governance of the country. Two distinct categories of things. But you're not going to really succeed with the republic without consensus, because you need a particular amount of people to vote for the republic. Yeah. And you need a particular amount in parliament to vote for the republic for it to pass. Okay. So unless both sides are able to come to a consensus to say, we both want this. We want it. We have been fighting for it. We have been suggesting to it. Just for the other side now to say, yo, we don't really want King Charles again.
But then them saying that they want the CCJ, that means that they're saying, and the Privy Council.
They want us to move from the Privy Council to CCJ.
So that's the only setback?
That's the main one.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that they're saying.
But then, because what you're talking about, I'm like, isn't that good? Like separation of like, you know, church and state, separation of powers.
But it's two different things, because you don't need a referendum to remove the CCJ. All you need is a vote in Parliament.
Right.
For the Republic, you need a referendum. And you need a particular amount of people to vote in the referendum. It's a long process. It takes about 6 months. We have to lay the bills in Parliament. You have to wait for a period of time of consultations. Then you have to have the referendum. Then you have to come back to Parliament again. To remove the Privy Council as your final court and a seat to the CCJ, all you need is a majority, I think. And I don't remember the exact amount of the majority, but all you need to go to Parliament. You don't even have to go to the people and ask them, which is something that I have a problem with, because I don't believe that somebody should convict me and I don't have a choice in who is convicting me. But it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I think our government is of the view that, listen, let's move on with the public. It's too long now. 60 odd years we've been independent.
I think
why
that's a general
view.
A general feeling.
Yeah, why are we still entangled with the monarchy in the UK? You know, let us govern ourselves.
And I mean, for the most part, both sides are off the mind or off the mindset of really changing the constitution.
I think, to be honest with you, both JLP and PNP believe in going to republic. The difference is that the PNP believes that we should go republic and CCJ at the same time, and we are not there. We are not. We believe it's two different matters that should be dealt with separately.
Oh, and there's no. So that is the only thing that you're saying.
That's the only real thing that is stopping it.
How close? Me asked earlier about how close do you think we are to getting there?
That's hard to answer,
right?
Because it as I said to you, is a consensus issue. We can't force Mark Golding to do anything. He's a man in his own right and he makes his own decisions. They can't really force us to do anything. We are now carrying out a process with the Constitutional Reform Committee. We're having discussions, and they're going to present a report to the country on what they suggest is the way forward. And I suspect that in the probably next year, they will submit their report, and then the government has to decide what the next step is. I hope that the opposition does not hold on to the CCJ conversation, but we believe it's two different matters that should be dealt with separately.